friends, welcome back to my channel. So one thing you should know about me is that if there is an eyeshadow palette tag going around, or really any tag video going around, chances are I'm gonna participate because I love tag videos. I think they are so much fun to watch. I think they're fun to like sit down, think about your answers to whatever questions they are, and then like sitting down and filming them. I just think they're fun. So we are doing the eyeshadow palette tag 5000 today. This tag video was created by Chic Geek Makeup. So I think the like name of it is kind of hilarious. She created it and she said in her video that she named it that because there are 5000 different eyeshadow palette tag videos floating around the YouTube sphere, which she's not wrong. She's not wrong there. There is a lot of eyeshadow palette tag videos in general. But you know what? Like I said previously, I'm going to participate because I just think they are fun. So I'm going to have her channel, her video linked down below, as well as Kelly from Bella Beauty and Sarah Rose. Both of them also participated in this tag video and I had fun watching theirs. So I'm going to have all of that linked down below for you guys to check out in case you were curious. I did not wear any of the eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to talk about on my eyes today. Why? I'll tell you why. Because I don't get to do my makeup very often anymore. So when I have like the hankering to make a look, use a certain palette or use a certain product, I have to follow my heart and follow my dreams and use that product, make that look that I am envisioning. Because if I don't know when the next time I will do my makeup. You know what I mean? I just do my makeup like maybe once a week if I'm lucky. So I just have like a hankering to make this orange eye look. I don't really know why. I haven't worn like colorful eye makeup in a very long time. So I just was like in the mood. So I used the Colourpop On the Mango quad. I don't know if they make these little quads anymore. I don't know if they make this one specifically or any of them in general. If I can link this one below, I will, as well as all the rest of my makeup I'm wearing, as well as all the eyeshadow palettes that I am talking about for the tag questions. Okay, question number 1 is an eyeshadow palette that you wore on a special occasion. So for this, I had to pick the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette. This baby is well loved. Is it a little bit old? Yeah, probably like 4 or 5 years at this point. So it's definitely expired, like by makeup terms. Like on the packaging, on the back it says, oh, it says 24-month shelf life. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be 12. So it's not like it's not as expired as I thought it was going to be. Definitely still expired. But I wore this on our rehearsal dinner when we got married. I wore it the whole time we were on our honeymoon. I wore it, I'm pretty sure, for our maternity pictures. Did I wear it for our newborn pictures? I don't know. I don't know if I wore it for our newborn pictures, but either way, pretty much anytime I get our pictures professionally done, I wear this eyeshadow palette. Also, anytime I need to look glam and put together and I need like foolproof eyeshadow that I don't have to think twice about, I always know it's going to look good, I reach for this palette. As you can tell, I have a big old pan in this one, and then this one has a huge dip in it as well. Yeah. Oh, and this one does too. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that dip? I don't know if you can. I love this eyeshadow palette. I truly do. I probably need to repurchase a new one at this point because, like I said, this one's old. It is busted, crusted, well used, well loved. So maybe I'll repurchase it and like buy a new one, but this is definitely my special occasion palette. I use it for like every special occasion ever. All right, number 2 is a palette that you love, but it's a teensy bit repetitive. It's got a couple shades in there that are repetitive that I probably could have done without, switched out for different shades. And for this, I have the Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie number 2 palette. Now, I really do love this palette. Like, I truly do. I think it's a beautiful palette. However, these 3 shades right here, well, maybe not this one, but these 2 right here are very similar in the pan and on the eyes, as well as these 2 shimmers. Like, did we really need a lighter gold and then a bronzy gold shimmer? You know what I mean? Like, they're just very, very similar. And then this one, it looks kind of different, but it just kind of like looks all the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to put these on your eyes, chances are you're not really going to see a huge noticeable difference. So like, do we need all 3 of those? You know what I mean? So I would have liked to see like these 2 switched out, like one of them switched out for a lighter, more tan sort of transition color, because we just have this really orange one and then this pink one that's got sparkles in it. I don't love mattes with sparkles, but that's just a personal preference. So yeah, while I do love this palette, I think it's a really great quality and I tend to like the looks that I make with this palette. It's just, like I said, there are some tweaks. There are some things that I would change about it, but I'm not Laura Lee. This isn't my palette. It's not my brand. So like, I don't have a say, but I'm just answering the question. You know what I mean? Number 3, a palette that you got your money's worth. I could have said Natasha Denona Mini Nude because like you guys saw how busted and crusted that one was. But I went ahead and chose the Colourpop That's Taupe palette. Is this a lot of monies? No, not really. It's like $15. Well, it could be more now at this point, inflation. It's probably like $30 at this point. I don't know. I haven't repurchased it, obviously, or looked at it in a while. But when I bought it, I want to say it was like $12, maybe $15. And I have used $12 or $15 worth of eyeshadow out of this for sure. Again, I got a big old pan of this one. This one right here has a huge dent in it because it's like my favorite shimmer to put on my eyelid when I use this palette. It's Snake Eyes, but even just like these other mattes are like real dented, and like you can see some love and use out of it as well. And this one right here is a Super Shock. I don't love the Super Shock eyeshadows, but it is super sparkly, so I like to just tap it on. So yeah, when you look at this, it's dirty. It is well loved, well used. I definitely have got my money's worth out of it. Alrighty, number 4 is a palette that you think is an amazing deal. So for this, I went ahead and chose the Half Cake Beauty Your Eyes Only palette. This is only $16. It is a 9-pan palette, so that's like less than $1 per pan. When I tell you the quality on these eyeshadows is chef's kiss, it is chef's kiss. Oh, I love it. Could this also have been the one that I said for repetitive? Probably, but all of these shades are just so beautiful. The mattes are just buttery and smooth and soft and don't get patchy on me. The shimmers are the type of shimmer that I'm a little bit more apt to reach for lately. I'm not into like a really whole wham bam thank you ma'am in your face kind of shimmer, and these are not them. So these are just really nice satin shimmers, I guess. They're just not really glittery, which is just really beautiful on the eyes. All of the shades go together really nicely as well, and you just can't mess up your eyeshadow or your eye look when you're using this. It's always going to turn out beautiful. It's another one that I go to when I need like foolproof makeup and I know it's going to turn out well. And like I said, for the fact that it's only $16 and there's 9 shades, less than $1 a shade, I think that is definitely an amazing deal. I think if you haven't tried Half Cake Makeup, I would definitely check them out because this is not the only product from them that I enjoy. Number 5 is a quad that you love, that you just wish was a little bit larger. You like it so much, you want more of it. And for that, I chose the Viseart Petits Force Lila's palette. I believe is how you pronounce that. So this is just an adorable little quad. And I would like it to be expanded upon because I love the quality of it. I think the mattes are really nice, and I think these shimmers are beautiful. They are a little bit more of that intense shimmer, so just keep that in mind if that's like not what you're enjoying recently or ever, kind of like me. But like I said, the mattes are like buttery smooth and soft and blend together really nicely, and these are really pretty on the eyes. But when you look at them, you can tell they're all just kind of the same. Like these two mattes kind of show up the same on your eyes, and these two shimmers kind of do too. I mean, there are, well, I guess not. Okay, I'm lying. These don't show up too similar on the eyes. Like you can definitely see this one's darker and this one's lighter, but they are still like both silvery sort of tones, which I understand because Viseart has a ton of these quads in different color stories. So if you wanted other colors in this format, you would just buy another one of those. Does that make sense? You just buy another color story. But I just really like this specific color story. I like the fact that it's cool toned. I like that you have a little bit of pink and a little bit of a gray. I would like different depths, like a darker gray, maybe a lighter pink than this, a little bit deeper, but still cool toned of a pink, and then a couple more shimmers. Just this color story, this cool tone, this vibe, but just a couple more options. You know what I mean? Number 6, a eyeshadow palette that you love the quality, but you don't like the packaging, or you hate the packaging. This one, I wouldn't say I necessarily hate the packaging, but I don't like it because it's very reflective. It's very reflective, and it gets very dirty, and like look, I'm blinding you. I'm literally blinding you right now because of the packaging. The Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 2 palette. I love this eyeshadow palette. I truly do. I think it's one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes ever. Do I want to say ever? I think I want to say ever. Like, I really do love this. Like I said, it's just very reflective. It's very hard to take a picture of it. It's hard to hold up and show you guys because of that. It blinds you. It just always looks dirty. It doesn't matter. Like, maybe I should have cleaned this off before, but I wanted you to get like the full effect. Like, that's how it looks like all the time. So yeah, it doesn't matter like how much you clean it or anything. It's just going to look dirty and reflective, and I don't know. That's why I don't like it. But like I said, the quality of the shadows, amazing. All right, what number are we on? Number 7, a dream palette with singles. I don't have single eyeshadows. I think I have maybe like 4 single eyeshadows, so I can't really participate in this one. I'm not a single eyeshadow kind of gal. So moving on to a number 8, palettes that you'd like to combine together. So I chose 2 Huda Beauty palettes for this. I chose her Mercury Retrograde palette as well as her Rose Quartz palette. Both of these separately are absolutely beautiful palettes, and honestly, they kind of have a little similar vibe going on. A couple of the shades in both of them are similar, that if you were to combine them together, you can make like a really nice pinky, cool tone, silvery gray sort of color story. And I just wish that that would have been an option, that we could combine these together, because like these blue up in here in the corner, I really don't reach for those in this palette. And even some of these like warmer tones, I'll reach for them individually, but I don't ever combine like the cool tones in there or the blues together. And then this palette right here, it still has more of those blue tones that like could go with these. But I would just take like the cooler tone pinks, gray, silvery sort of vibe from this palette and this palette, combine them together. Like, can you see it? Can you see it? I bet you can, because they just are very similar. Not very similar, I guess, is not the correct terminology, but they just got similar vibes, you know what I mean? So I would definitely combine these two together, and I think that would be the most beautiful silver. You know what? I was just thinking, it would be like the Viseart Petit Fours Lila palette that I just said I would like to be larger. It would be like that vibe in tone and color story, but larger. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, number 9 is a larger palette that you just wish was smaller. And for that, I have the Gimme Glow Cosmetics Pastel Dreams. I love this palette. I haven't used it in a hot second because I am just not in a colorful makeup sort of stage in my life right now, especially pastels. These are more like springy tones in my mind, and we're obviously in the late summer. We're coming up on fall, you guys. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I love fall and winter and all that. Well, I don't love winter, but like I like winter makeup. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. So I just have not been reaching for this in a very, very long time. Even if I was reaching for pastels all the time and that was my jam and I wore them constantly, I would never, I would never get through this eyeshadow palette. Look how large it is. It's literally larger than my head. The pans are huge, which is nice because you are getting a lot of eyeshadow for the price. This was not like a cheap palette. And the Give Me Glow like formula is very, very beautiful. These mattes are opaque even though they are pastels, and that's kind of hard to have pastels mattes show up on your eye without needing to be built a ton. They do need a little bit of building, but not anything terrible. And then the shimmers in this palette are out of this world, like stunning. Not really my vibe that I like right this second, but if you do like a really shimmery sort of shimmer, this would definitely suffice. However, like I said, they're just massive pans. They're just massive. If this was a fraction of the size, like half, a fourth, that would be fine with me. If they were just way smaller palette, way smaller pans, I would have been fine, and I probably still would have bought it because I like the story, the color story, and I like the quality. It's just like, when am I ever going to go through this much pastel eyeshadow? Probably never. Like, probably never the rest of my life, you know? All right, and last but not least, in number 10, it is a palette that you wish had a matching face palette. This one was really hard for me. I looked around my collection for a very long time thinking like, what palette would I wish had a matching face palette? I'm not really a face palette kind of gal. I don't use them very often. I would rather reach for single products, which is the exact opposite of eyeshadows. Isn't that funny? I don't reach for single eyeshadows. I'd rather have an eyeshadow palette. Anyways, makeup's funny, right? So it was honestly really hard for me to choose what palette I was going to pick for this question. I almost skipped it. I almost skipped it like the singles question and just been like, I don't really have one. But for funsies, I was like, don't take it too seriously. I'm like, just which one? So I chose the Huda Beauty Nude Light Obsessions palette. This palette is another palette that's been in my collection for a very, very long time. I love it so much. The mattes have dips. These shimmers have massive dips in them as well. And the reason why I chose this one is for a couple reasons. Number one, I feel like whenever I use this palette, it is hard for me to choose a blush. I am someone who I really love for my blushes and my eyeshadows to go together very nicely. Like, I would never wear a cool toned gray silvery sort of eye and put like an orange blush with that. I don't know how to explain it. I just like the hues and the families to be very, very similar and to go together really nicely. And with this palette specifically, and a couple other palettes, but this one specifically, it's hard for me to find a blush that matches, especially when I use these 3 shades right here, or I guess these 4 shades right here, because these are more cool tones, like purpley, pinky cool tone. And I don't have a good purpley, pinky cool tone sort of blush. Would that really even look cute on my complexion? I don't know, but I just really struggle whenever I use this palette to find a blush that goes with it. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is Huda Beauty has never really dabbled into face palettes. I know they have like single bronzers when it comes to her like glowish line, and then also they have like cream. Oh, they have powder blushes too. Okay, they have cream and powder blushes as well through their like glowish line. But I feel like their glowish line is a little bit more like easy, simple, everyday makeup. It's not really super impactful, super pigmented. The couple of things from that line that I have tried. So under the Huda Beauty umbrella, I feel like she could come out with some face palettes that are a little bit more pigmented, maybe a little bit more high glam, and they would be really nice. I can see them not doing that though, because that's not really the type of makeup that's super popular right now. The whole like clean makeup, no makeup is really popular right now, skin tints, that kind of thing. So I think it's smart if she doesn't do that. But if she did, I would probably purchase it because like I said, I love a blush that would match these like cool tone. That's the thing. It's like I can't find a cool tone blush that I like that goes with all the cool tone eyeshadows that I like. I had so much fun doing this. I really do, like I said, love tag videos. I just think they're fun and silly, and like it's just fun to like look at your makeup, not take it too seriously, answer the questions, all of the above. So let me know down below what you guys would choose for any of these questions as well. You guys know I'm nosy. I love hearing from you guys down below. Check out the other YouTubers that I said I was going to link, Chic Geek Makeup, Kelly from K-Bell Beauty, Sarah Rose. They're all great channels. Definitely check them out. If you have the extra time in your day, do so. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.